Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I know I sound like Jamie Carey in the Truman Show, but that is the only way to make sure I greet everyone correctly today, since we are gathered here across so many time zones in different countries. And my name is Xumeng Zhang. I'm a curator, researcher, and of course, youth leader in the field of art and health. I was trained in fine arts in New York at School of Visual Arts, and I am currently pursuing my master's degree at Northwestern University in Arts, Entertainment, and Media Management. And my education in both the United States and China has given me a global perspective on how creative can be applied to health challenges. I like to describe my work in this way. Youth leadership is the reach, and art is the approach. In other words, young leaders can open doors to health, but art provides a path to get there. And this idea started with a simple but life-changing assignment. And it was during my undergrad. My professor asked us to paint addiction, and most of my classmates just paint cigarette and alcohol or broken families, etc. But I feel that is simply illustrating pain wasn't enough. So I just asked myself, if art can show the problem, can I also point to the solution? And that question led me to research. And I discovered studies showing that creative practices enhance self efficacy. That is the belief you can take control of your own recovery. For people struggling with addiction, that beliefs can be as critical as medicine itself. It was my aha moment that art is not only about beauty or representation, it can be heal, empower, and transformation. Now, why we emphasize youth leadership? As a member of Gen Z, I grew up in a digital world with memes and TikToks and a lot of cat videos, but also with new kinds of social anxieties. We know how mental health and body image and social pressure that are experienced by our peers today. Let me give it a small example. In 20th century in Beijing, China, people often greet each other by saying, "Have you eaten?" And at that time, food was scarce and limited, and the phrase meant care and blast. But if you say the same words to some young people today who might struggling with eating disorder, it may feel so heavy, even painful. And this showed how each generation experienced different struggles, and youth leaderships matter because we can translate those struggles into action with art. In fact, the very first hospital exhibition I curated with my team was about eating disorder. For me, it was not just an exhibition, it was proof that youth voice notice different issues and bring them light in ways of older frameworks often miss. And I chose three pictures of my favorite. The first one right here is is all the volunteers sitting on the floor. And these two are two of my favorite ones. The first one is from a professional illustrator from Brazil, and the second one is a patient. And with this belief, I co-founded Ylah Arts. This is a youth-led cross-disciplinary platform combining art, medicine, and social innovation. And what makes our practice unique? We design a space where patients and visitors can actively participate. And our artworks in exhibitions come from professional artists with lived experience and patients currently care in hospital. And we also have doctors, psychologists, artists, and curators, of course, collaborate to ensure both scientific accuracy and emotional resonance. And one project I'm pretty proud of is called Teeny Emotional Cosmos. So it is an adolescent diffusion emotions exhibition. We worked with teenagers and their parents in a hospital setting. Instead of just labeling emotions as positive or negative, we curate work around loneliness, excitement, fear, and joy, and framing them as natural and universal. It gives young people permission to see their emotions as valid and parent a new lens of understanding. This is really my favorite part. And another project is called Bad Emotions, No Problem. It was staged as a pop-up exhibition in the commercial district in Shanghai and with Bilibili. I know a lot of you guys didn't heard Bilibili before, so that is basically the a Chinese version of YouTube. And the goal was to bring conversations about mental health into everyday public space, reaching people who might never visit a gallery or a hospital. So we just set up the exhibition in the mall, which is very funny. And then it was a deep moving moment. This is also one of our interactive exhibitions. We have a wall where people could write their inner thoughts. And what people just simply wrote, I don't like myself. And over the next days, thousands of strangers responded on that wall, like, you are healthy and believe in yourself, and just say, tomorrow will be better. So that a single cry for help were curse of encouragement. And here's another person right here, like, um, after I become a girl, after the surgery, it was my touching moment. So everyone is expressing themselves. This is why I mean by art is approach to health and it's not decoration. It's a catalyst for connection, empathy, and of course, resilience. Of course, it is also not so easy. Doctors do not always speak art, and curators do not always speak medicine. So we have just to debate, edit, and balance every phrase and image because something's too dark would harm the patients about their emotions, while something too idealized would let them feel false too. So, but in that negotiation, the real innovation happened. And since its founding, Ylah Arts has reached wide audience. Our exhibition regularly attract 50,000 of visitors, and our programs have reached 70,000 students from Beijing and Shanghai elementary and high schools. And we also supported by 200 more experts from different aspects. So we have seminars and workshops together. And we also have more than 200 of volunteers from the community to help us set up the exhibition. And we also supported by 20 more universities all over the world. And our partners are like 50 medias and foundations. And the numbers really matters, but what matter more is every exhibition, every school program, every patient story shows that art can be a serious tool for public health. So what lies ahead I see three directions. The first one, of course, is education. Health knowledge should not be limited to textbook. I myself only learned in college that the difference between viral and bacterial infection, which is, I know, a little bit silly, but just imagine if the children learn this basic early through comics, interactive games, or exhibitions. Of course, and all kinds of art. That is prevention and not just treatment. And many hospitals now are experimenting with cultural products like cartoons and cultural products, even memes to reduce stigma. Just imagine the hospitals that feel welcoming because art and humor make fear smaller the moment you walk in. And when a new field emerges, it is the youth who are both who are bold enough to try new approaches. We are not bounded by old categories, and that is our advantage. And just for me myself, my vision is to push for policies that humanize hospital environments so patients can heal with boredom, without burden or fear, and to train a new generation of cross-disciplinary talent who can speak both art and medicine. So without this bridge, the movement cannot grow. Okay, so conclude, art may not cure disease, but it can cure loneliness. It can turn stereo corridors into space of memories and hope. And it can empower patients as creators, strangers as allies, and young leaders as the curate of healthier world. And And if you just remember one line from me today, so let's say this. Young leaders are the enriched to health in artist approach. Thank you.